I'm going to tell you a joke. What do you get when you cross one of the greatest filmmakers of all time with an unbelievable cast, essentially an unlimited budget, and no studio pressure whatsoever? The best film of all time, right? Wrong! What you get is the most pretentious, overindulgent, f***ing chaotic thing I've ever seen in my life. I cannot believe I actually spent my hard-earned money on a ticket for that
Daddy, chill.
If you couldn't tell, today I'm talking about Megalopolis, and boy, do I have some thoughts. But first, some background. Now this film is Coppola's self-proclaimed magnum opus, as well as his parting gift to the world of film. It's also been over 40 years in the making. He first conceived the idea for the film in 1977 and began working on a script over the next few years. Filming was then set to begin in 1983, but was postponed due to Coppola's debt to the studios following a string of box office flops. The project was revived in 2001, but again unfortunately delayed due to the 9/11 attacks. It was at this point that Coppola decided he'd had enough of studio bureaucracy and was going to fund the project himself. And so in 2021, Coppola sold a portion of his winery empire for $120 million. And I know that is an insane statement, and used this to finance the film. Later that year, casting and filming began, and after some final delays due to COVID-19, the film finally wrapped in March 2023. But okay, I hear you. What is the film actually about? At its core, this film is about a rivalry between Caesar Catilina and Frank Cicero. Catilina is a brilliant architect advocating for a utopian future, and Frank Cicero is the greedy mayor, afraid of change and progress. Catilina has discovered a miraculous building material, megalon, with which he plans to build his utopian city, Megalopolis, and the film follows his quest to achieve this goal and the opposition he faces along the way. Now the film is actually a direct retelling of an historic event from 63 BC known as the Catilinarian Conspiracy. In it, Lucius Sergius Catilina attempts to overthrow Marcus Tullius Cicero and seize control of the state. And if those names sound familiar to you, that's because I literally just said them, and this coincidentally leads me onto my first of many things I don't like about this film. Everything is incredibly surface level. It's clear from this film that Coppola is trying to send a message, that the Western world is doomed, and he's likening its future to the fall of the Roman Empire. Now, although this is a poignant message, he conveys it so blatantly and on the nose that it's just uninteresting. I mean, he's literally used the exact same names for his main characters as those from history, almost as if Coppola feels he has to physically spell out to us what's happening. Every main character in the film is just a grossly exaggerated caricature. We have Catilina, who is just him. He's rich, he's powerful, he's devoted to the betterment of society, and can literally bend time to his will. We have Hamilton Crassus III, the decrepit bank CEO who's got more money than God seemingly, and his children are all rumoured to be sleeping with each other. We've got Wow Platinum, the mistress who will sleep with anything and anyone to get her hands on money and power, and whose name is literally, ooh, shiny things. I mean, I could go on, but I won't for your sake. And besides, we need to talk about the style of the film, because honestly, I don't even know where to begin. Imagine trying to fit 40 years of thoughts into 2 hours and 20 minutes. That's basically what this film is. It's the most chaotic, all over the place clusterfuck I've ever seen. I mean, it was a genuine task to sit through it. Any and every conceivable film style and technique was in this film. I'm talking split screens, fish eyes, hand-drawn animation, stop motion, enormous CGI set pieces, mime, dreamlike sequences. It was the most jarring viewing I've ever had the displeasure of experiencing. And the worst part about all of this was it detracted massively from the actual plot of the film. There's just so much happening that you forget why you're even there in the first place. The conflict between Caesar and Cicero doesn't land. The central romance doesn't land. The entire message and the point of the entire film doesn't land. It really is the most self-indulging, pretentious, steaming pile of arseholes I've ever seen. Now, I really don't like to come on here and just spout hate for 5 minutes, so I want to mention a few things I did like about the film. And I had to try really hard to come up with these, but I have got 2 things. Number 1 is Shia LaBeouf. I thought he was great, and I found myself always looking forward to the next time he was on screen. He's well known for being a method actor, so Lord only knows what he did to get into this role, but regardless, he impressed me. And secondly, despite its numerous shortcomings and flaws, if nothing else, this film will spark discussion, and it will give you something to talk about. If you have seen the film, let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. I'd be genuinely interested to hear some other opinions. And if you haven't seen it already, do yourself a favour and keep it that way. And with that, we've reached the end of the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I promise I'm not always as negative though, and I can prove it. Just press this video on screen to find out.